How exactly do you make custom keychains, name signs, and even price tags that you can use on your tables at all of your markets? Well, today I'm going to show you just that. By the end of this video, you're going to know how to make all of those things so that you can add these custom items into your business, which is something that people really like and help you to start bringing some money in. Welcome back to Design and Forge Studios, Print to Profit. My name is Ashley. Let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start off with making the custom price tag signs that you can use for your markets. It's also the exact same way that you can make the custom name signs. To do that, you're just going to change the size in the end. So we're going to start by going to canva.com and you're going to open up a worksheet. From there, you're going to want to insert a text box and you can choose whichever font you want. I'm choosing to use the Chewy font today. This is the font that I use for all my price tags and I use it for some of my name signs as well as an offer that I option with my font choices. What you're going to want to do once you have the text box open is just insert any price that you want to make and make it a little bit bigger. This isn't you actually choosing the size of your print, so it doesn't matter, but big enough you're able to take a good screenshot of it. You can choose to export it as a PNG if you want, but I do a screenshot because I think it's a lot quicker. Once you have that screenshot, you are going to open up picsvg.com. This is going to help you to change that image into an SVG. Once you're there, you're going to upload the photo. And when you scroll down after uploading the photo, you're going to see that it looks a little bit weird. But we're going to quickly fix that by choosing the internal 3 option from that drop down menu. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to save that SVG file. Now we're going to open up tinkercad.com and choose to open up a new worksheet. We're going to find our file and insert it, and then we're going to choose art, and you're going to select a size down below. I always just randomly pick, 65, 70. It's the millimeters of width for the item that's going to go in. Now we are going to change the settings at the bottom right there, the units from metric to imperial. This just makes it work in inches instead of millimeters. That's what I prefer. If you prefer to work in millimeters, you can keep it how it was. Then we're going to click on our price amount and we're going to up the quality all the way. What this does is just smooths out the edges and gives it a better appearance. Now we want to make 3 total copies of this on our work plane. So you can either copy and paste or choose the little icon up there to the left so that you have 3 in total sitting on your mat. So we're going to start by clicking on the top one and you're going to choose silhouette. You're going to see that this is going to change what the price signs look like. After that, we're going to choose the second one and we're going to change that to outer line. And here, I always choose a 0.15 thickness. You can choose whichever thickness you want. It's just the edging around the outside of whatever your number is. Once those two have set up fully on the work plane, we're going to choose to center them in both directions, and we just pick the middle circles after clicking that icon with the 2 lines at the top, and then we are going to join them. Once they're joined, we want to change the thickness. You can see that I set mine to 0.28 inches. You can choose whatever it is that you like. Then we're going to choose our remaining $10 price sign there. I change my thickness to 0.15 and we're going to lift it up a little bit by clicking on that little triangle because we want it to be floating above our other price sign that's on the mat. We will then again choose to center the image in both directions so that it'll be perfectly lined up with the one already on the work plane. And once it's there, you can use that triangle again if needed to drop that top layer down so that it sits right on top and they're perfectly joined. At this point, we're going to select everything that's on the mat there and we're going to join them to be one piece, and then we're going to alter our sizing. So for me, I like my price signs to be 3.5 inches wide by 1.5 inches tall. You can choose whatever it is that you want, set it as that, and then we are going to export that file as an STL. Now we want to take that newly created STL file and we want to input it into our slicing program. And from here, we are going to paint it whatever colors we want. So make sure you have 2 colors available to choose from. And then you're just going to change the color on the top there of your actual numbers. Now, just be careful when you're doing this that you ensure that all sides of those numbers have been chosen. If you have chosen a font that is a little bit more boxy, sometimes it will miss corners or edges. So just give it a good look so you can make sure that everything has been painted. And again, this whole process is exactly the same for the name signs. You're just working with a name instead of numbers here. And you want to make sure that when you are working on that outer line number, picking your image, that you make sure that all parts of those letters are captured within there so that it's all joined together nicely. Then once we have everything painted here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to slice the file. You should see that there's only one filament change, and then everything is good to go to get sent to the printer. If you are still here watching this video, thank you so much. Please hit the like and give us a subscribe and comment below if there's a video that you want to see. This one is being made today because I had lots of comments of people asking, how do we make the keychains? How do we make the price tags? And I don't want to gatekeep that information. I want to give it to you guys to help you grow your businesses. So please drop in the comments below if there's something that you need help with. And if I am able to, I of course will help you with that. But help us out and hit the like and give us a subscribe. We are a brand new channel. We are trying to grow. We're just here to help other people grow their businesses and appreciate all the support that you can give to us. Let's dive back in now to how we do the custom keychains. So we're going to head back to Canva and we're going to go ahead with inserting a new text box. This time I'm choosing to work with Magnolia Script. There are a bunch of different ones that you can pick. This again is one of the font options that I offer for both the name signs and the keychains. So you're going to just create whatever it is the name that you want to make your keychain with. We're going to do all the steps the same way to start as we did for the price tag signs. So once you have that name, so once we have that name set to a decent size, we're going to again choose to screenshot it or save it as a PNG, whichever you decide. And then we're going to head back over to picsvg.com and we're going to upload that file, scroll down, and again choose internal 3 as your option and save it once more. Then jump back into your work plane on Tinkercad again. And I'm just going to delete that name sign and import the keychain name that we just did. Again, we're going to choose art and go anywhere in that 65-70 range for importing it onto the mat. Most of these steps are going to be the exact same as we did with the price signs, with just one difference at the end there. So once we get that name in there, again, we want to increase the quality all the way. It just helps to make it look like a much better overall image. Once we do that, again, we want to have the 3 different copies of that name. So go ahead and either copy and paste or click the little icon there to ensure that you have 3 different copies of that name. Once you do, you're going to start with the top one again, and we're going to make that one a silhouette. Once we have the silhouette, we'll choose the middle one, and we're going to go to outer line. And for this one, I'm going to choose 0.18 instead of the 0.15 that we did for the price signs. It just gives a little bit of a thicker line around the names there, helps the keychain to be a little bit stronger, and we want our keychains obviously to be nice and strong. So once those 2 have gotten set up the way that we want them to look on the mat, we're going to again select both of them, make sure that they line up perfectly, and then we are going to join them so that they are one piece. Then we're going to click on that newly joined keychain and we want to change the thickness. You can choose again whatever you like. For me, I like to put this part of the keychain at 0.15. And then when that's set, we're going to go and choose the other remaining part of our keychain. This part, I like to set the height at 0.08. And then once we have the height set for this one, again, we have to go through and we've got to lift it up off the mat by clicking on that little triangle so that it's going to be hovering over the other part. We're then going to line it up centered both ways and then make sure that if we need to drop it down, we drop it back down before joining all of those pieces together as one. Now, this is where we will be adding a different part from the price signs because obviously we need to have a loop that our keychain hooks can connect to. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to choose the cylinder, the solid from over on the side, and the hole. With the solid, you're going to change the size of that one to 0.3 on both sides of it. And then, like the main part of the keychain, you're going to make the height 0.15. Now we have what will be the outside of the ring, and we need to make the inside of the ring. So we're going to choose the whole part of the cylinder, and we are going to make this one 0.15 on the sides and 0.15 high. Once we have those settings selected for it, we need to line those two circles up together, make sure that they're even on both sides, and then once they're even, you're going to choose to join them. When you join them, you're going to see that there is now a hole in the middle of that cylinder. We will move that cylinder down and line it up at a really good spot at our keychain so that it not only looks good, but that it will be stable for a key ring to go through it as well. I also will make a heart sometimes for some of my key rings if I'm making one for mom or grandma or something like that, and I will use the heart as the loop, and people seem to really like those. So just keep in mind it doesn't have to be circular. You can choose to use other shapes as well. And now we're just going to set the sizing for our keychain. So this can vary depending on the length of the name. It might be a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, somewhere in and around 3 inches for the length seems to be pretty good. Then we're going to export that file again as a PDF and put it back into our slicing software. Once we're in our slicing software, we're going to choose to color it once again, making sure that we get all the sides of it and that nothing at all is missing. And once we've got it fully colored, we are going to slice it and just make sure that we are only getting one filament change that's going to come up. That tells us that we've got it all sliced properly. If you see that there are multiple filament changes that come up, then go back and check your painting to make sure that you got all of those little parts because odds are you just missed something during that stage. Your file is now ready to print. That is a wrap. I hope that you found this video to be useful. I hope you can walk away from this now and make those items for yourselves, add them to your businesses, and that they bring money into your business. The next how-to video I'm going to be doing will be about Square payment processing, as I had somebody ask about that, and I happen to use Square in my bakery, have used it there for almost 5 years, and now obviously use it for this business as well. So I'm going to walk through how we use that, how you can create invoices, how you can use it to track inventory, all of those different things. So make sure that you subscribe so that you get notified when that video comes up. And until next time, happy printing.